What's up? What's going on, everybody, man? It's your guy, Nick Frazier, the Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, man. We are here. I got DC's around the water cooler with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, man? Glad to be around the Auburn family tonight, man.
Of course.
Just happy to be here.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we talking about Redzone tonight. How can Auburn football fix its Redzone issues in 2025? We're going to talk about it coming up. You know what we got to do. Eugene Asante.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, man, thank y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler, as always, here every night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, man. We thank y'all so much again for rocking with us. I'm Nick Frazier, one half of the Water Cooler Talk podcast. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, tonight with us, DC Wolf from Auburn Addicts. DC, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm trying to get this red zone fixed, Nick. Let's get this red zone fixed, man.
Yeah,
get it fixed.
If we get it fixed, we probably win a couple more games last year. But, you know, it is what it is. But before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, as always, man, make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolerSpot23, of course. Follow us on Twitter at CoolerSpot23. And then, as always, subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell button here on YouTube, so you know when we post more videos and when we go live here around the water cooler. As always, take a look at the comments before we get into it, man. I want to see what everybody's got going on tonight, man. Stephen Allen comes in and says, War Eagle, what's going on, Stephen? Hope everything's good with you, my guy. Auburn Dad, War Eagle, let's go. What's up, Auburn Dad? How you feeling, man? He said, Jesus, I hope with all this talent and better decision-making, QB, our red zone woes disappear. You and me both, Auburn Dad. I feel the same way. King Richard comes in and says, War Eagle, man, I got King Richard around with us, man. What's up, King Richard? How you feeling, man? It is what it is. What's up? JT comes in and says, man, if we play any other team, we were a first-round exit today. I don't know if I'm going to go that way. I just think Auburn need to make the free throws. That's it. If Auburn make free throws and Auburn just plays with a sense of urgency, I think Auburn is probably unbeatable. But like I said, they just have these lows in games to where they just be like, I don't know if it's because they play down the competition or they just, I don't know. It's just weird. That's weird to me. I honestly don't understand that. What you think of DC?
Hey, man, like I told you, man, like I said Sunday, man, my biggest thing is free throws, and then, like you said, lows in the game. I don't know why, and Bruce knows more about all of us combined with basketball. Mm-hmm. When they have these lulls, man, you know, get some cutters to the basket, man. Just let them drive to the basket instead of trying to set up an offense just like you had Pettiford driving to the basket. I would like to see that more, man. If they have these lulls, man, just let them drive to the basket and just try to draw a foul or something.
I agree, man.
Out of their athleticism.
I agree with you there. Something got to change. Got to get some type of fire underneath them. Because at the beginning it did look a little, even though Auburn was, except for when it was tied up, Auburn was kind of in control. It just the way it looked, it just looked very, concerning. What's up?
Did I hear concerning? Go ahead. Did I hear concerning? But go ahead.
It just looked a little concerning. But I mean, but they won by what, 21, 22?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. The Huggy Beard is in the chat. What's going on? The Huggy Beard, the legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams is here. What's going on, my guy? King Richard said, man, to change the red zone woes, there are a lot of things that need to change. One thing is don't be predictable. Keep the defense on their toes. Ooh, I like that. Keeping the defense on their toes, not trying to be predictable on offense. I like it. The Huggy Beard is in here again, as always, man. I got a Huggy Beard. King Richard is here, man. JT said, if I'm BP, every player is shooting 300 free throws until they make that. 300 is a lot. That's a lot of free throws. That's a lot of shots you got to put up. That'd probably take you, 300 would probably take you an hour and a half, maybe. Hour and a half. Oof. But you're right. They do need it because, I'm telling you, It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous,
I mean,
man. Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen, y'all know
saying,
what time it is? Y'all know what time it is? It is time for JT's quote of the day. Let's go.
Yeah. 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 It's time for JT's quote of the day. The quote of the day from JT. JT has the quote of the day for you and me. What is the quote? We want the quote. We need to know the quote. So what is the quote? It's a quote. It's time for JT's quote of the day. So JT, what is the quote today?
JT, what is the quote today, JT? All right. So apparently this quote is from Nicholas Eddie Winslow Frazier. I don't know where the Eddie Winslow came from, but apparently I said this. He said, everything starts with Hugh Freeze deciding to run a trick play with Sam Jackson from the 1 instead of giving it to Jarquez Hunter. I'm guessing you talking about in the Cal game. I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I said that. But shout out to JT for the quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We give this every day. So shout out to JT with the quote of the day. As always, we appreciate it, man. He comes back and says, man, it's obvious it's the free throws, as always, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just free throws forever, bro.
Huggy Beer said, man, Auburn needs to bring back that grits blitz. Okay, I like that. Okay. We're gonna need to make free throws to win this tournament. Missing free throws is a ticket to Cancun. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true, especially with Auburn get ready to play Crichton. If Crichton get hot like they did from the 3-point line that they did today against Louisville, yeah, Auburn gonna have to figure out a way to make them free throws and make shots as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. I got C Hall is here, man. What's going on, C Hall? War Eagle,
what's
going on, man? He said he went deep in his bag for that quote. All right, I feel you, man. Wait, are we back on Hugh Freeze's case? We always gonna be we not gonna bash any coach, but we gonna always be critical of what we see. You know, we gonna just state the obvious of what we see. It is what it is. He got a couple rounds away. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into it. All right, so Redzone woes for Auburn last year. Auburn's offense ranked dead last in the SEC in Redzone percentage last year when it came to getting in the red zone, when they got in the red zone, and points scored. We ranked dead last. So tonight we're gonna try to explore some reasons of how Auburn can improve the red zone this year with what they have on the roster and with the coaching staff. So first off, we're gonna I got a couple of I actually have 4 reasons that Auburn's red zone offense should be better or could be better in 2028. And we can go through those. DC, if you have any, just chime those in there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start off here. And we're gonna kind of talk about it, and then we'll kind of get the perspective on it. The first note that I wrote down, the first point that I wrote down is that Auburn has bigger receivers, and they have receivers that actually play bigger than what they are. So in the red zone with us, well, I know for me, myself, thinking that Coach Hugh Freeze is probably going to trend more towards throwing the football this year. I think having the bigger receivers to pair with a Cam Coleman, so you have Horatio Fields, depending on seeing what the progression of a Perry Thompson looks like this year on the offensive side. And then also having an Eric Singleton who actually plays bigger than his size on the football field. I think that contributes to having more success in the red zone with the trajectory and the trend of Auburn potentially throwing the ball a lot more. What say you, DC?
Man, I say Brandon Frazier. I've been saying this for like how long? Golly. I mean, man, get the tight end involved in the red zone, man. I seldomly see remember seeing the tight end involved in the red zone. Number 2, man, it's just like, let's not make it rocket surgery, as somebody said. Man, run the ball, man. It's like King said, predictability. You know when we get in the red zone, dude. Time we get in the red zone, they go into the back shoulder fade, bro. It's like he can't help himself. So, you know what I'm saying? My first thing is, man, I know we have strong receivers, but, bro, at least, man, not be predictable and go to the back shoulder fade, man. Throw the tight end or something in. You know, so like you said, you're not predictable, man.
Okay. All right. So basically, you say instead of us using the receivers that we have on the roster, which are more talented receivers that Coach Free said he need more people that can go out and catch the football.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of using that, you think we should run the ball more with what we have in the backfield?
No, I'm just saying it's like I think we should use the receivers, and then that's questionable whether our receivers are better because we did lose KLS, man. I mean, so that's yet to be seen if they are actually better. I got to see it on the field because that dude.
I mean, you seen it on the field. You seen it with
that
Eric
dude. Well, no,
Singleton?
I'm saying I got to see it in the SEC against Georgia, against Oklahoma, Brent Venables, against Alabama.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
all right.
You know what I'm saying? I saw KLS do it. And did he almost reached 1,000 yards, man. So that's a lot of production gone. Not to say he can't, but I got to see it. But no, I'm not saying don't use him. I'm saying like King Richard said, man, don't be so predictable. It's like clockwork. When Hugh Freeze gets near the goal line, dude, he go into this one-page book, back shoulder fade. And he like, okay, like no one has ever seen that before, man. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, dude, just mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
It's like even in the Alabama game, bro, it's just like you get in the red zone. I agree. He's too predictable. You know what's gonna happen, man. So mix it up, man. I mean, like I say, do some tight end plays, man. Hit me with some slots, crossing or something, man. You know, other than just using the receivers. And I think I hope that's not a crutch, being that Hugh Freeze is like, man, I got my players, I got my receivers. This is what I love. And I hope, man, he doesn't lean too much into the talent. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, okay, I got these receivers, man. I'm going to just close my eyes and just throw it to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have tight ends. You have an offense for a reason. You have other players on offense for a reason. Just be multiple in the red zone, man. And think about this, Nick. When he got to Auburn, what did he say? Yeah, with Philip Montgomery, what he does, you know what I'm saying, in between the 20s or 30s, you know what I'm saying, you mix that with what I do in the red zone.
But the thing is, what he wants to do in the red zone is throw the ball.
Yeah,
he wants to throw the fade in the red zone. So basically, looking at having a Cam Coleman, looking at having Horatio Fields, looking at what Perry Thompson may do, having Eric Singleton, potentially seeing what Malcolm Simmons can do down there. I think is bold enough. Is just the trajectory, the trend that we're gonna see is a lot of passing down there, which will probably be the first option. Which I think is majority what's going to happen there. In the red zone, which is the reason why he went out and got Horatio Fields, which is probably the reason why he was probably looking at another wide receiver in the portal after you went out and got Horatio Fields and Eric Singleton as well. Probably looking at trying to get another big receiver. I can't remember. Like I said last night, I think the receiver was a receiver from Notre Dame that they were looking at trying to add as well. But just having that having that array of talent to where if something happened to one guy, you could just put another guy out there that's just as talented or better to do what he wants to do on offense. So I think helping out with the offense and the red zone woes that we have now, I think we will be leaning on a lot of talent this year. I don't know if it'll be a lot of scheme involved. Maybe it'll be more talent based of I'm just going to throw the ball up and I'm just going to say my guy's better than your guy on the other side of the field.
Come on, Nick, don't tell me that. Please, man.
That's just how I see it. It's just how I see it.
Man, don't tell me that.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Gotta believe, man.
Second point of why Auburn's offense, red zone offense, could be better in 2025.
Okay.
Jackson Arnold's legs.
I agree with that. And I agree with that.
Jackson Arnold's legs.
I agree with that.
I think having Jackson Arnold, a mobile enough quarterback, in the 25 and in, giving him design quarterback run plays will probably help this offense score more points as well, or have the opportunity to score more points. Would you say a criticism of this offense last year was not having more design run plays for Peyton Thorne in the red zone?
Absolutely, man. Because if you look at Peyton Thorne, man, I didn't know when he got to Auburn. If you saw him at Michigan State, you wouldn't have known. But he is a capable runner, man. He can make you respect every aspect of the offense. Like I said, it's just being multiple, man. I think, to answer your question, if they would have put some design quarterback runs, zone read runs in, man, you could have, opened up the game with, they wouldn't have run, Hunter anymore, but it would have opened up the run game for Hunter, even more, man, if they would have did that. So I think with Jackson Arnold, dude, he's more than a capable runner. This dude can get it. He can pick him up and put him down, bro. So I think, man, put in some zone read runs for this man. I think that just opened up the offense as a whole, even in the red zone too. I agree with you, man.
Speaking of the run game, which running back would you prefer in the red zone? Would you prefer Damari Austin? Would you prefer Jeremiah Cobb? Or would you prefer Darrell Robinson?
I would prefer, man. I think my man Austin is a load, bro. You got tree trunks for legs, for thighs. You know what I'm saying? And then I take Cobb too, man. I take Cobb on the swing pass, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit him in the flats and let him go. Cobb, man. Contrary to what the other kings say, man, I think we have, good running backs. You know what I'm saying? And you got Damari. I think he can power run between the tackles, man. And I think, Cobb can get to the outside, man. Hit him on the flare, man. Hit him in the flats, man.
Yeah, I think this run. I think having a. I stated this last night. I said if this run game, if the run game offense, I think it helps out Auburn, especially in the first 5 weeks of the season before they play Georgia at home. Because if Auburn plays Baylor to start the season at Baylor, so a lot of people feel that. Excuse me. A lot of people does feel that they still need to see what this offense is going to do with this cast of athletes together. Now you've seen what they've all done respectively at their respective schools last year. Now you're putting it all together. It should mesh together to where it should make it easier for all of them to be able to perform at a higher level as well. But I still believe that having a running game for the first 5 weeks of the season, especially honing in on that running game, for the Baylor game, the Ball State game, the South Alabama game, going into Oklahoma and then going into Texas A&M, 2 road games back to back. I think there will come a time in those games to where, as a coach, you're going to want to control the clock, and you're going to want to be able to be like, I can give the ball to one of these guys back here, and we can literally control the clock just because of the environment we're in. So if Auburn is able to kind of hone that in, starting at Baylor, refine it against Ball State, kind of more refine it and get it more towards improvement against South Alabama, I honestly feel like by the time they get to Oklahoma and by the time they get to Texas A&M, once they get into a jam in those games, and let's just say those games, it becomes a close game. And, Auburn's up, with the ball, 5 minutes left, and we want to milk the clock to win the game. Instead of trying to throw the ball down the field, we can actually run the ball and actually control the clock and make the other team use their timeouts. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Make them sweat. So I think that is a big part of actually helping this team win games. More is even in the red zone and even in just game management situations as well. But that's gonna have to be more of a revelation towards the coaching staff to know that they can do that.
Bro, you saying it in my head, I'm like, man, this is exactly what we need. But then the other side of my brain is like, he was not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it, man. Think about it, dude. Back in the Kentucky game last year, this man said after Jacquez Hunter had 270 some yards, almost 300 yards rushing. This dude was saying, yeah, while he was running, I was thinking I want to throw it.
Yep.
Like, what are you talking about, man? This dude almost got 300 yards rushing. Why is your mind even thinking throw the ball? Why is that even going? But he was like, yeah, I had to contain myself and hold myself back because, I wanted to throw the ball. He just want to throw because he want to throw. You know what I'm saying? Coach, I know you watching, Coach. I know you watch us, Coach. Coach, you got to run the ball in the SEC, man. You got to control this ball sometime. You're going to have close games, man. Stop throwing the ball around so much, man. See how, Nick, you got me going. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Nah, I mean, it's like the 3-point shot in the NBA.
Yeah,
man. Sometimes, the 3-point shot in the NBA is a very low percentage shot. But it's a very high reward shot, and is certain spots around the 3-point line are high percentage, or higher percentage than other spots. But and it's a flashy play as well. It's an exciting play. It's probably more exciting than the dunk. Now than it is. So back in the early 2010s, late 2000s, running the ball and actually running over somebody was like the highlight. It was like you if you truck somebody, ooh, guess what? Yeah, you just got trucked. You're gonna be on Sports Center. But now, guess what? If you moss somebody, you got mossed. You know what I'm saying? If you jump up over somebody, you get mossed. That's the thing. So and then the thing about it is the fact that it creates a big play, an instant big play, without having to put as much wear and tear on a person's body as well. Because running the ball, even if you do run the ball, you probably still gonna take 2 or 3 hits if it's not a clean, sound blocking play, if it's a gap scheme, if it's zone read, if it's a duo block, whatever it is, unless you probably still gonna get hit. But the thing about it is, would you rather get 8 yards running the ball, or would you rather get 25 to 30 yards throwing the ball down the field and move the ball closer to the end zone? Which, I mean, I understand what Coach Hugh Freeze is coming from with it, but the thing is,
give me the 8 yards rushing.
If you averaging 4 or 5 yards a rush, that basically means every 2 plays you get the first down.
Yeah,
that's the name of the game.
Give me that.
So
give me that.
It'll be interesting.
Like, if you give me that, I'm getting 4 or 5 yards a rush average. If you give me that, the pass gonna be open. The 25 gonna be open. The 25 is gonna be open when I want it to be open. If I'm getting 4 or 5 yards rush, I'm not concerned about the pass game. That's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? But just like leaning on it, I mean, that's his philosophy, man. When he wins, I'll be the first one to applaud. You know what I'm saying? I'm behind Coach Freeze, you know what I'm saying, and what he does. But man, I just would love for them to, stick to the 4 or 5. If the 4 or 5 is working, man, just let the 4 or 5 work. Like David Cutcliffe said, man, he was like, if I run one play and you can't stop that one play, he was like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to run the one play the whole game. So sometimes as a coach, you have to have that mentality not to like overthink it. If something is working, man, if 3 plays are working, why do we have to go deeper in our bag? Just run the 3 plays that are working. They can't stop it. If one play is working, if the toss sweep is working, man, run a toss sweep all day, bro. That's what Tennessee did to us one year in the SEC championship in the 04 season. Bro, they kept running this right sweep, man. And on some of them they were holding, but they kept running this. Man, Auburn could not stop it, dude. I was sitting in the SEC champion. I'm sitting in there just like, bro, when are we gonna stop this play? They couldn't stop it, so they kept running it.
I think we also have to look at it as saying, running the ball. Jackson Arnold, yes, his legs will help in the red zone, but getting creative in the run game as well. Just as we talk about guys that are, innovators in the pass game and how they're able to get the ball to players in unconventional ways of running the ball in the running the ball. You have to get creative as well with running the ball, because zone read, gap scheme blocking, duo type blocking, ISO type plays, like that's kind of what the norm. If I'm a linebacker and I've seen, I have a lot of reps, and I see every single offensive lineman step the exact same direction when the ball snaps. The first thing on my mind is, this is a zone read. This is a zone play.
Yes.
If I'm a linebacker and I see and I look at the guard and the tackle, and that's my read point, the guard and the tackle take the guard and the tackle with the guard's outside foot, the tackle's inside foot, they both step in at the same point. I know this is a gap scheme type play coming up, or it could be an ISO, depending on if there's a back in the backfield. They're trying to leave me isolated to make a decision on if I need to take this block on because and fill the hole so somebody can scrape over and hit, or if that's gonna happen, both guys are the guard is taking his outside foot stepping and the tackle is taking his inside foot stepping to the same spot. That means that tackle could potentially be a duo blocking up to me. So I mean, it's just certain keys, but getting creative in the run game is something that I feel like needs to happen in the offense. You can't see the same halfback 22 dive, people, old school people. You can't see 22 dive, you can't see 24 trap. We can't be seeing we can't be seeing that. It has to get creative as well in the running game. So hopefully that is something that we see as well when we get in the red zone, because for one, it keeps the clock running. It's a very low percentage play. Yeah, you can fumble the ball, but the likelihood of it happening if you have a guy that's back that can carry the football is very, very low. But throwing the ball in the red zone, the field gets constricted, the windows gets much smaller, and it shrinks the playbook a lot. So it'll be interesting to see. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we're gonna take a break right here, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here, man. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna head into halftime, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about the next two things that potentially could help Auburn be better in the red zone. So we're gonna go into halftime real quick, and then we'll see y'all on the other side. Let's go.
You don't out your seats. It's halftime.
Do you want to feel like a star? Then go to Hollywood Media, and you'll be shining. From sports interviews, athletic highlight tapes, athletic photography, Hollywood Media will make you the star of all stars. Feel like a star on the most important days of your life, from college graduation to saying I do to your forever person. Let Hollywood Media make your event star-studded. Subscribe and follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood. Hey, yo, shout out to our guy DJ, man. Day one supporter of the Water Cooler Talk podcast. As always, man. You have a wedding. You have a birthday party. Or you just want family pictures taken. If you're an athlete and you wanna get pictures done, or you want to get your athletic highlight tape done, shout out to our guy DJ, man. He'll make it right for you, man. He'll make you feel like a star. He'll make it worthwhile, and it will last forever. Trust me. It's great. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood EY. And then, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Shout out to our guy. Day one supporter of the Water Cooler Talk podcast. As always, mess with the people that mess with the Water Cooler Talk podcast. As always, we appreciate you so much, man. Let's take a look at the comments before we get back into the show. I want to get through some of those real quick, man. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler. As always, man. King Richard comes in and says, my dad always talks about a play that Hugh Freeze did at Ole Miss versus Alabama. He said 4th and 1, QB and shotgun with the running back in the pistol, and the running back was tackled at the 3-yard line, and they lost the ball game. It kind of sounds like that Sam Jackson play a little bit, doesn't it? Nah, it's not that. It just seems like he starts doing trick plays when he gets in that area, and I'm like, all right, I feel where you're coming from. If you repped it, it didn't look like it. But I mean, I understand if you feel like that's the best play at the time. Like I said, I'm not the coach. I'm not getting paid $6 million a year. I'm just seeing what my eyes see. That's it, man. But Auburn dad said, man, if Jackson Arnold is more decisive and can get the ball out quick, I'll run, it should be deadly in the red zone. Yeah, I think Jackson Arnold's legs is going to be one of importance for Auburn this year, as well. Sometimes Hugh Freeze equals DA. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. The legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams said, "Man, DC just made me wish I had some Yardbird to go with this barbecue righteously, bro." I got Ed Darby. What's up, Ed? Shout
What's
out
up,
to Ed.
Ed? What's going on, Ed?
He said helping his team win games is going to come down to one person only, Hugh Freeze. Will Hugh Freeze call the game that needs to be called, or is he too prideful and stuck in his own coaching philosophy? That should be the comment of the night right there. Like, especially if he will call the game that needs to be called. That is the comment of the night. What you think about that, DC?
I agree, man. Couldn't agree more, man. That's why I'm stuck right now. With Hugh Freeze is we talked about the roster, improving the roster, man. We're hopeful that it's improved this year. So we're down to I don't think it's necessarily, like I said, calls. Because I think his X's and O's are good, but it's just like time and situations, like you say, situational football is making those right calls at the right time, man. Not overthinking it. And he said this past season, he felt like he was just like, to paraphrase it, he said he felt like every play was like do or die, man. So
say it again. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at him.
No, he was saying like he thought every play was like life or death, do or die. You know what I'm saying? So man, you can't have that kind of pressure on you. But if I hope it's not that kind of pressure on him this time. But dude, the situational football has to improve, man. It has to, man. And not just saying, okay, I got more receivers, so I got a bigger, taller, stronger receiver, so let me try it again. Man, if it's not working, man, do something else, man. It's simple.
I feel you. He said, DC, if it ain't broke, it don't fix it. But Wallace said Hugh Freeze has 5 plays out of 1 set. Shout out to Auburn Dad. Yeah. And then he comes right back and says, by the way, we also got to get better on defense in the red zone as well.
Yes.
So that helps too. If the red zone defense is good, then guess what? That also helps the offense as well. Or if the defense cannot even get themselves in a position to be in the red zone, if they can stay out of the red zone, that helps as well. Man, or staying in there as little as possible.
Yeah, and we got to get way better on the third and longs, man. The second and third and longs, man. I was watching just rewatching games, man, and we were in situations we like, man, 2nd and 20. You know what I'm saying? 3rd and 18. And bro, we're giving up first downs. Like, how? But so we need to fix that, man. I think if we fix that, man, we'll take a big leap on defense.
I agree. Shout out, I got Rebel Yell. What's up, man?
What's up, Rebel Yell?
He said, let's talk about the lack of recruiting momentum because ball coach is sidelined. Can you imagine trying to run spring practice while battling for your life? Chemo takes a toll on you, man. Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit. We didn't, not to the extent last night, but we did say that this could be a negative recruiting tool for other schools against Auburn. Because yesterday, 5-star Tristan Keys committed to LSU. And the noise or the rumblings were that it was going to be that it was between Tennessee and Auburn.
Okay.
Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama were the top 3 actually. LSU was in there. But if a lot of people felt like Tennessee probably would have been the favorite, in that recruitment, but then next thing you know, but Auburn was there. Some people say Auburn wasn't, but you have some people saying that Auburn was definitely in it. I'm under the impression that Auburn probably was either 2A or 2B behind, right there with Alabama. But LSU, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I really didn't hear much about LSU with Tristan Keys and things of that nature. But he did take a visit, and then he committed right after his visit there. So that's interesting. So I don't know if if this is gonna be a negative recruiting tactic towards Auburn from other schools. I hope it's not. But how do you combat that? The optics. If Coach Hugh Freeze is still up and about, moving around, if he's still, out on the road, recruiting and things stuff like that, I don't see why it wouldn't be a problem, especially when they say they caught it early.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So we are praying for Coach Hugh Freeze there, man, because that is just a different that is different. That's different in football. That's a whole different situation in football. So
that's why I laid off Hugh Freeze, man. I laid the hand off on him, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ed came in and said, man, you can trap or dive, but you have to run it out of different personnel sets. This is where coaching and studying film comes in with Coach Hugh Freeze. Has not done a lot of that the first 2 years at Auburn. That is totally correct there, Ed. You could definitely still run those plays, but it has to look different. And things and stuff like that. I agree with you that you can't be running out of 12 personnel or 22 personnel, and things and stuff like that. It's just it has to. You have to get creative with it. You have to get to the point. You have to be almost like Andy Reid in that situation, like how Andy Reid is when he starts just the creative mind of him just comes up. He just creates these plays that just you be like, how did this happen? Or how did he do this? Or what made him see this to make this happen? So it'll be interesting to see there, man. The legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams said, man, I'm old school. Once the other team starts gimmick plays, it's a wrap. You heard me? I got you desperate. I like that. I like that, man. That's what's up. Auburn Dad, this is very true. He said that early NIL money came through on a visit, Nick. Hey, that is true because there were last year. It was noted. It was very noted that guys were being paid to commit to schools.
Yeah.
Like they were getting paid like monthly to commit to schools.
Sure.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how that happens. So that's why I said last night that there's still a long way to December. So we'll see what happens there as well. He said Nick got the multicolored pen. Hadn't seen one. Yeah, man. It's it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of them in a while, man. Wow.
Yeah, the multicolored pen.
Yeah, that's old school right there.
It's very efficient.
Old school. Yeah,
very efficient.
Is.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
very
efficient,
man. Terrence Bradley came in and said, man, we'll be able to score more consistently this year, hopefully. Deep pass plays will be closer to the goal line. Yeah, I like that. The deep pass play parts, which kind of shout out to Terrence because this rolls into my next point of how Auburn will potentially be better in the red zone. And guess what? Yeah. That's by not being in the red zone.
Man, I was thinking the same thing, but proceed. I was thinking the same exact thing, man. Proceed.
How Auburn can be better in the red zone is by not being in the red zone. Absolutely. So basically, from the goal line to the 20, Auburn does well. We know they can move the ball. But if Auburn is able to score without having to get inside the 25, if you're able to score at the on your 45, if you're able to score on their 47 or their 30 or their 35, if you're able to do that, guess what? You're not in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? And it actually plays into what Coach Hugh Freeze wants to do with this offense anyway, which is throw the ball around the field.
Yes.
So if you have the athletes out there, and if you're able to design plays and scheme up plays that actually get guys open, one play that actually comes to my mind, I want to say I think it was the Arkansas game this past year. KLS ran a little dig route on the end. Peyton Thorne put it right on him, and guess what? I think KLS went like 73 yards for a touchdown, untouched. So if you're able to create those type of big plays in a game, it eliminates you having to scheme up how you can get the ball on the in when you get in the red zone, how to get the ball in the end zone. What you think, DC?
I agree, man. I agree with that wholeheartedly. When you were saying it, I'm like, that's what's going through my mind, man. If you can use the receivers, now I can see when you leaning into receivers with that, you know what I'm saying, 1-on-1 in the open field, like Cam Coleman did a lot against Texas A&M. 1-on-1 in the open field, man. Get the receivers on slants, digs, however, man, over the top. Now we can say, okay, we're using this talent we have. We're using all these new receivers. We're leaning into these weapons because you have the open field. But once you get in to the red zone and it shrinks down, okay, we got to go to something else, man, because that's not available now. But I agree with that wholeheartedly. That might be the play. Might be the play. It's like, okay, man, we're not going to even get, into the red zone where, what I'm saying, all of that is taken away, man. We're going to do it from the 40 out.
Yeah.
Or the 40 in, I'm sorry. The 40
Basically.
in, so, yeah.
Basically. No, Auburn, that's not what I'm saying. So if we fumble the ball, now I'm not saying run back to the 25. What I'm saying is if we get the ball, if Auburn receives the ball and Auburn receives it, they fair catch it or, and things, stuff like that. Use what you have. Use your athletic. Use your playbook to or scheme up plays to where if you are confident in the athletic ability of the guys that you have at wide receiver, at running back, use that to create big plays so that you don't have to get in the red zone to call plays in the red zone. So let's just create those explosive plays that you wanted, that you want anyway, and just avoid the red zone altogether. It's not possible. I don't think that's possible throughout the season because there are going to be plays to where Auburn's going to be in the red zone where what Auburn dad is saying right here is there will be a turnover and the turnover's on the 23-yard line. You in the red zone. So you're going to have to try to scheme up ways to get the ball in the end zone that close to the goal line. But if we start at our own 20, 25-yard line, guess what? Let's try to avoid the red zone altogether.
Yeah.
Let's use Cam Coleman. Let's use Eric Singleton. Let's use their speed. Let's use Malcolm Simmons' speed. Let's use Bryce Kane's ability to get loose. Let's use that to try to avoid trying to figure out how we can scheme this up in the red zone and try to score. So it'll be interesting.
Is like when you get across midfield, what we're saying when you get across midfield, 45 going in, man, take some shots. Take some shots to the end zone from those places, from the 30. Take shots to the end zone from there. But,
Yep. King Richard came in and said, man, not getting in the red zone a lot sounds like Bama when Kiffin was OC. Outside the red zone, they scored outside the red zone. They scored inside the red zone field goal time. This is very true. And y'all just keep bringing in the next point that I keep bringing up. It's like y'all read my mind. It's really like y'all read my mind.
On the same page tonight,
that's what I'm saying. Because the next point that I was going to bring up is the potential of having Alex McPherson back in the kicking game is why Auburn's going to be more efficient in the red zone this year. Because if he's healthy enough, we all know that I think he had the surgery. I think he's recovering now. I think he's trying to get his strength back. He's gained some more weight. But having him back and having him available to kick field goals and having that guy that's reliable is going to be very, very clutch for Auburn in the red zone. Even outside the red zone for Auburn, even if we at the 40, if we at the 40-yard line, that's a 57-yard field goal. I think they trust Alex McPherson in that range. So, having the kicking game, having the special teams unit, having the guy that you thought was going to be there last year, having him back and getting ready and strong enough to play, having him there, I think is a very, very strong signal that Auburn will be able to start putting 3 points on the board. Because when I look at Auburn last year and I look at the Missouri game, or I look at the Georgia game, and I look at the Arkansas game, or I look at the Cal game, and I look at the times where we were in field goal range, in Alex McPherson's field goal range, and I'm sitting here saying, if he was here, if he was here, he can get us this. This changes the momentum. A field goal can change the momentum of a game. I look at it. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Like, man, it's gonna be nice to see him back on the field this year. What you think, DC?
Oh, absolutely, man. I think we could have won. I know we probably could have won the Arkansas game if we had some good field goal kicking in that game. With him coming back, and think when this guy was playing, man, not last year before, man, he didn't miss not one field goal.
Nope.
He did not miss a field goal. And then on the other hand, too, when you're an offensive coordinator, if you know you don't have a field goal kicker, you call the game different.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You just call the game totally different, and then you might call it how you wouldn't normally call a game just because man, I don't even have a field goal kicker. So now I got to conjure up something to try to get a touchdown or first down because I know we don't have a kicker. So you call it differently. So maybe Hugh Freeze calls games different this year.
Maybe he does, knowing that he has that ace in his back pocket.
Oh yeah,
of Alex McPherson.
You can be more relaxed, man. You can be
Yeah.
more relaxed, and like, okay, I know I got 3 right here, man. So let's, what I'm saying, let's go
Yeah,
take
and
a
it-
shot
and-
this time.
and it helps you think the game through a little bit better too,
Yeah.
because if you sitting there, you like, all right, we are, this is 7 minutes left in the second quarter. I may get the ball one more time
Mm-hmm.
before the quarter is out. We down by 7 right now. So
Mm-hmm.
It's 17-10. If I kick this field goal right here, if my defense can come out here and get a stop,
Mm-hmm.
Don't get any points, or at least hold them to a field goal. Guess what? I know I can get the ball back with at least 4 to 3 minutes left. And then now in that position, I can go down and maybe put a touchdown on the board and tie this game up, or take the lead, depending on what happens on the side of the ball. So yeah, you just thinking the game through that way. When you have a field goal kicker like that can actually help you out. So I agree. It's gonna be nice to see Alex McPherson back on the field this year as well. Tell you that, man. Daryl said, man, I like the deep ball, but hopefully we can see some yak on some short passes to the end zone too. Ball placement from Jackson Arnold to be critical, gonna be critical for that, because we got the receivers. Yeah, man. I agree with you there. All 99.9%. Yeah, I agree with you. Because of the simple fact, because I just feel like you have those type of guys that can take a 8-yard pass and turn it into a 70-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have those type of guys on this offense right now.
Yes, absolutely.
So the yards after the catch, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that statement right there, man. He back doing good now. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir. McPherson back doing good. That's what's up, man. Darrell, yes. Not Darrell. Daryl, yes. So, some yak yards. Be making plays look way better. Sure enough. Yeah, just ask Tom Brady. That's Tom Brady's whole career. Throwing the short ball and letting his receivers do their things. Letting Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman do their thing. And
my man, Joe Montana ate off a little bit of that too.
Yeah, the West Coast offense, which is my favorite style of offense. It's a dink and dunk offense, but it also has a very run heavy a proponent to it that actually helps that short timing dink and dunk style of offense. Nick beating the mic don't literally hitting. Nick beating the mic don't literally hitting the mic. LOL. Am I? Am I clipping? Is he saying I'm clipping? Okay, let me turn it down some. Okay, there we go. We'll do that. I'll turn the mic down some so you can maybe I was clipping.
No, you didn't sound like he was clipping to me. Maybe so. I don't know. Maybe you clipping to them.
Probably. If I'm clipping, let me know. I don't want to hurt your ears. Just let me know. That's what I'm saying. All right. Real said, man, facts at Hoogie Beer. We off to the races at that point. Number tail lights. Tail lights. Y'all remember that? What was it? Tail lights. It was Rob Bramlett. I like that.
Hey.
Yes, sir. The real, you heard me. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always, man. This has been a good conversation, man. And we always appreciate y'all so much for I mean, listen, hey, if you want to call it shade, it's shade, but that's what he did his whole career. I'm just gonna be real with you. It helped out. Josh McDaniels, that was Josh McDaniels' offense. So that's what he did. So it is what it is. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. As always, great conversation. We try to as you can tell, we talk college football, which is the kind of direction we're gonna stick with here. College football, SEC football, Auburn football, all year round. And we sprinkle in a little bit of Auburn basketball there. And things, stuff like that. But we appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler as always. DC, tell them where they can find you at, my guy.
Oh man, you can find me at Auburn_Addicts on all platforms, and on YouTube, man, at Auburn Addicts TV. You can catch me next Sunday. But have you heard Auburn News today, where we bring you the Auburn News, man, on Sunday at 6. And you can catch me on Wednesdays with the uncontainable At Tight Sports, man. Alabama Megacast, man. I do a show with an Alabama fan, man. It's off the chains. It's crazy. You're probably going to have to take a nap after you watch this guy. But catch us on Wednesdays at 6, man.
Yes, sir.
Iron Bowl debates.
Are y'all just going to Wednesdays now?
Yeah, we just going to do Wednesdays, and then when the season we just kick back in on that Friday, so we can do picks before, we talk about the games on Wednesday, the past games on Wednesday, and then make our picks on Friday. So we just added that day and do the grumpy old men megacast.
That's what they said. They said the grumpy old men podcast, bro. That is funny. That is funny. That is hilarious, man. That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Okay. I would. I don't know. Okay. I was gonna announce it, but I don't see it, so I'm gonna wait. But shout out to Tez, man. Tez got some news coming. Auburn Tez got some news coming out.
Let me know so I can announce it we can announce it Sunday too, man.
Yeah. So I thought they was gonna do it tonight. They may do it tomorrow, so I'm not gonna do it. So shout out to Auburn Tez, man.
Okay.
That news should be coming soon.
What's up, man?
But as always, here, man, follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. If you have a Twitter account, please go to Twitter and follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. So you know when we post more videos and go live. 2 people away from hitting 600 subscribers here on YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all so much.
Let's do it.
For helping us out, man. 2 people away from hitting 600 subscribers, as always, man. Take a look at these comments before we get up out of here. Let's see. Yep, 2 more cubes. Yes, sir. Great show. Appreciate that, Huggy. The grumpy old men. It's funny, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to Al. What happened to Al? What happened with Al Borges?
Oh, you talking West Coast.
The West Coast offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
What they call it, the Gulf Coast offense?
Gulf Coast offense. That's funny. That's funny, man. Shout out to King, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all make the show, man. We just here. Here. Check out Iron Bowl debates. Y'all bring up the Wizard of Oz and let it rock.
Man.
The green Stacey Adams with the gold belt with the gold buckle. That's so funny.
Oh my God. Man.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all so much for continuing to ride with us, man. We'll be back around the water cooler tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, man. Around the water cooler, man. We thank y'all so much for continuing to rock with us as always, man. Before we get up out of here, y'all have a good one. Better yet, you all have a great one. As always, make sure you get the man upstairs above his. Make sure you give him his praise because he deserves it all. And as always, y'all be blessed, man. And until tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, we'll see you then. One love. Eugene Asante, take us out, my guy.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Water Cooler Talks with your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode.